Good evening from Singapore Expo. We are honored to welcome you and the world to the opening ceremony of the 2023 First Global Challenge in Singapore. After a spectacular event in Geneva, Switzerland last year, we're thrilled to be convening the globe in person once again for a sport unlike any other. Tonight, we're going to see these youth carry their flags high in the parade of nations, hear from leaders across government and business, and witness a dazzling cultural show to end the night, so make sure to stay tuned.
Students from 191 countries have spent the last several months preparing for this very moment. For many of them, the experiences they've gained this season will serve as a gateway to a life of innovation and service through the fields of science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. These youth are here not only as competitors and athletes, but as ambassadors for their countries. They are championing education, opportunity, cooperation, and ultimately, a more harmonious world.
And that's because the First Global Challenge is a testament to the power of unity. Throughout this event, you're going to witness as we unite young minds from all parts of the globe to tackle one of the world's most pressing challenges, and one that has no borders: climate change. In the spirit of international collaboration and partnership and innovating energy solutions that pave a more sustainable path forward, tonight we welcome these young leaders from around the globe who have journeyed here for this great purpose.
And longitude, there are students with a dream. From rural mountains to sandy shores, from traversing vast landscapes to navigating dense urban jungles, each of them has a unique story and a set of challenges to overcome. Yet First Global is the avenue through which these dreamers come together with the richness of their cultures and diversity of perspectives. From the novice to the expert, each participant has set out on this journey armed with more than just their technical knowledge. They carry with them a robot, a symbol of ambition and hope that reflects their journey of personal growth. Gazing from windows high above the clouds or with feet planted firmly on the ground, they embrace challenges with an unwavering spirit, transforming every hurdle into a stepping stone, turning adversities into lessons. As they take their first steps within this great city, these young ambassadors are more than representatives of their homelands. They're the carriers of a global message of innovation, unity, and unwavering determination. Though the paths these dreamers have taken to reach this grand event differ, their core interest remains the same: to unite as one. Their goal is not simply to display their robotics prowess, but to instead break down barriers, have imagination take flight, and use the power of STEM to transform lives. Amidst the buzz of competition, a profound transformation will occur. Strangers turn into teammates, competitors into cooperators, and ideas merge, grow, and evolve. All this driven by a shared passion for STEM and a vision for a better world. Every interaction, every exchange is a testament to the magic that happens when diverse minds unite. The First Global Challenge is a beacon, illuminating the truth that when united, we can overcome any obstacle. Though the event itself is short, this is just the beginning of something much greater. These leaders of tomorrow are here to demonstrate that when given the chance, our youth can solve our most pressing global challenges and build a better world for us all.
And now, please join us in welcoming this year's delegations of STEM athletes for the 2023 First Global Challenge.
Team Afghanistan.
The first team to enter the arena this evening, and first in our hearts, these Afghan dreamers were contacted to design a low-cost ventilator at one point to treat COVID-19 patients as part of a design challenge. This is one of the many problems that this group has been so predetermined to solve.
Team Albania is set to have its first hydrogen plant in the country as per a memorandum of understanding. They're so excited to be here, and we're excited to have them here as well. Just look at those outfits. Nothing like it.
Team Algeria.
Team Algeria calls themselves, quote, Innovators Unleashed. They're going to be looking to unleash all that potential in the field of competition over the next few days.
And it's not going to be only them. Every team is
Team
coming with all
American
they've got.
Samoa.
American Samoa makes their way onto the field of play. One of the smaller nations geographically in competition here, but yet some of the biggest hearts that you're going to see in the field of play.
Team Angola.
Team Angola has declared themselves a true mixture of skills and passion, both qualities that are going to take them all the way to the top.
Team Antigua and Barbuda.
Now, Team Antigua and Barbuda, they call themselves Team Dadlabots. So you're going to see the unique complexion, not just of each of these cultures coalescing on the same field of play, but their robots, their teams, they're all going to take some individual and unique experiences from their homelands as they enter here.
Team Argentina is coming all the way from the province of Mendoza in South America. I love that you can see the crowd in the bleachers just calling for them, and they're so excited.
Team Armenia.
This squad from Armenia, they actually come from 4 different countries: Armenia, Georgia, Bangladesh, and Uzbekistan. Talk about a melting pot and talk about an exchange of ideas.
Team Aruba.
This is the first time that we have a team representing Aruba here in the first Global Challenge. We're so happy to welcome a new country, a different culture. That's what First Global is all about.
And that competition itself has grown since its inception
Team
in 2017,
Australia.
so 191 teams here. The next one to enter is Team Australia. It consists of Year 11 students from Sydney who all attend the same school referred to as Barker College.
Team Austria.
We now have a team that meets over 70% of its electricity needs to renewable energy resources. Definitely a country to be admired, and the team is nothing unlike that. They are definitely something to watch out for.
Team Azerbaijan.
Azerbaijan as a nation has an incredible amount of potential for renewable energy resources, and it ensures a very strong competitive advantage heading into the future as we try to solve the climate crisis.
Team Bahamas.
So the Bahamas is a country that has a particular concern for rising sea levels. So that's why they're here striving for better policies and better changes in climate change policies.
Team Bangladesh.
Bangladesh is one of many different teams in this year's competition who actually has mentors who were formerly FGC students themselves. So that experience could pay dividends in the long
Team
run,
Barbados.
particularly as the team enters competition.
And Barbados is known as the land of the flying fish. We can see these team members are going to try to fly all the way to that top of the podium on our finales.
Team Belarus.
For Belarus, the capital of that nation is referred to as Minsk. It's called the Hero City, and understandably so, it also has these heroes who are entering in Singapore
Team
this evening.
Belize.
We have 18 exceptional students making up this team of Belize. They coordinate in 4 different groups, and they're going to coordinate all week in order to get all the wins that they can. Look at them, so excited.
Team Benin.
What you gotta love about Team Benin is that they actually organized and conducted more than 5 youth-led STEM workshops in their home nation. They're paying it forward. That's what it's all about. You can see them genuflecting as their nation's flag makes its way into Expo.
Team Bermuda.
Team Bermuda has said that they're here to highlight their individuality, but also acknowledge the greatness of other countries. And that's what we're all here for. We're here to acknowledge what everyone brings to the table.
You're seeing camera angles of the teams that have entered thus far, and the next one that we have, I believe, is Bhutan. So as they make their way out,
Team Bhutan.
they actually have a gross national happiness index. It's used by the government as a measure of success. And no doubt there's a level of happiness here that is completely unbridled. And you can understand that given how far they've come. waves and welcomes from those students. You gotta love it as each new country enters.
Team Bolivia.
We now have team members from a country that has 37 official languages. Spanish, Quechua, Aymara, Guarani are just some of them. And I'm sure they're going to get that to their advantage now that they have the opportunity to, be with 191 different nationalities.
Team Bosnia and Herzegovina, they're located in a city referred to as Mostar. It is a city known for connecting and preserving various cultures. I think that's what this first global competition has always been about.
They come from the second largest diamond producer in the world, and these Botswana team members shine as bright as the diamonds that come from their land. Look at those smiles, that twirling. That's the excitement that we're looking for.
Team Brazil.
Team Brazil, it's comprised of 15 members from 2 different states in Brazil. You couldn't tell from their happiness and joy. They've all been together, it seems like, for years. They've overcome distance barriers, and 9 of those students, they live in, again, 2 different states, traversing both literal and metaphorical distances.
Coming from Brunei Darussalam means the abode of peace in Arabic. And this country not only strives for peace, but they're going to strive for greatness. That's what they're here for. They've worked so hard.
Bulgaria is referred to by some as the, quote, Silicon Valley of Europe for its booming tech industry. We'll see if that follows suit in the field of play here.
Team Burkina Faso.
Burkina Faso, they come from the land of honest men, but they also come from the land of hard workers. They come from the land of innovators. They come from the land of kids who are going to strive for the best.
Team Burundi.
Team Burundi, along with one other nation, has actually the lowest carbon emissions per capita in Africa, and their motto as a country is, quote, unity, work, and progress.
Team Cabo Verde.
Coming from diverse origins but united ambitions. Cabo Verde is actually an example for all of us, as normal plastic bags are legally forbidden and only biodegradable bags are allowed. These are the types of laws that we should be striving for.
Cambodia.
And strive for all of it.
Team Cambodia, you can hear the applause from the crowd. It consists of 7 passionate high school students that deeply understand how things should not be taken for granted. We hope to see them make the most of this opportunity here in Singapore this year.
Team Cameroon.
Team Cameroon actually developed, installed, and demonstrated a solar hydrogen production system in Douala. These are the type of systems that we're going to be striving to understand and learn more about here in the competition of Hydrogen Horizon.
Team Canada.
Canada, my neighbor to the north, back in the States, they actually rank in the top 10 of global hydrogen producers, and they actually create some 3 million tons of hydrogen annually for industrial use.
Team Cayman Islands.
Coming from one of the only nations to successfully replenish coral reefs, which had been lost to ocean acidification. The Cayman Islands are here to take the gold. They're going to want to replenish everything that they've got. And look at
Team
those
Central
smiles.
African Republic.
Marlene, I know when we did our rehearsal earlier on, you loved the quote from them. You want to take it away?
Yes, they say, we are Team Central Africa Republic, several talented members who share a variety of interests, overcoming the hardship of your unstable environment due to armed conflicts. They are about to amaze you, and they've amazed me.
Team Chad is sometimes, Chad as a nation, is sometimes called the, quote, Babel Tower of the world because of the number of languages spoken there. That's definitely an element of this competition when they get paired up with their various alliances.
Team Chile.
We're coming to Team Chile. It looks like we have an all-female team on the field. They expect to produce the lowest cost hydrogen in the world by 2030 and to be among the world's top 3 hydrogen exporters by 2040.
The People's Republic of China is already the largest hydrogen producer on the planet and the 3rd largest market for FCVs in the world. So they're a massive renewable power generation nation and have a lot of capacity that could underpin the rapid expansion of renewable-based hydrogen.
Team Colombia has one of their mentors who actually participated as a student in First Global Challenge in Dubai 2019. Look at the twirling, look at the excitement. That's the type of legacy that we're going to be seeing be here created.
Look at the acrobatics. We'll see if the robots can follow suit. That's being present with a purpose.
Team Comoros.
Historically, one of Comoros' few athletes to compete in the Olympic Games, was 27 years old, and as a computer scientist who actually used his platform to promote education, he won in the 400-meter hurdles and actually competed when there was no track in that country. So talk about overcoming adversity. It's definitely a part of the fabric of this wonderful nation.
The Republic of Congo coming from a country that's 70% of its territory covered by rainforest. They say we are Team Congo and we are here to look into new hydrogen horizons.
Team Democratic Republic of the Congo.
Democratic Republic of Congo is home to one of Africa's oldest national parks, called Virunga National Park, and yet it's got one of the youngest teams here in attendance, and yet this youth is going to be leading and inspiring change when they head back home.
Cook Islands.
We have now a young team of 5 members. Oh my God, look at that flow.
Gotta love the smiles. Everyone comes into this field of competition certainly wanting to win, but understanding that it's an achievement in and of itself to be here.
Team Costa Rica.
Costa Rica has 25% of the 30 hummingbird species you can find on Earth.
They're definitely going to be buzzing with anticipation and no doubt flying around the field of play in the coming days.
We're waiting to say that one.
Team Côte d'Ivoire.
To fight against climate change, Côte d'Ivoire has banned the import of vehicles over 3 years old and encourages residents to practice reforestation. These team members have practiced for months and they're ready to beat anything on their path.
Now, as Croatia makes their way into the fray, I need to make sure to mention Josip Velicic. He actually created the first speedometer in the world, and this team is absolutely going to need it as they fly around.
Team Cuba.
Team Cuba is 3 members strong, comprised of teenagers from different schools in the province of Matanzas. They were brought together by a member of Canada's team, and they are now introduced and here to stay into the exciting world of robotics.
Team Cyprus.
Now, what I love about this competition is getting to learn more about each of these teams and some of their interests outside of the STEM world. This group loves heavy metal and rock music in particular. We're looking forward to seeing them rock the house here in Singapore.
Team Czechia.
We now have a team that's coming all the way from Europe. It looks like we have 3 male and 2 female teams that are excited, that are determined, and that are here to take the gold.
Thumbs up, understandable. You finally made it. Raise that roof.
Team Denmark.
Denmark was actually one of the first nations in the world to create a Ministry of the Environment. It was built over 40 years ago in 1971 and is in charge of all matters regarding environmental issues in the country. Incredible organizational work from them.
Team Djibouti.
Team Djibouti isn't just a team, it's actually a convergence of aspirations, dreams, and determination. They've said to welcome challenges with open arms, knowing that each obstacle would conquer propels us closer to their dreams.
Team Dominica.
What I love about this event every year, and particularly from Team Dominica, who's a manifestation of this fact, half of this team had no prior robotics experience coming into this event, and that's again what the first Global Challenge is all about, opening and embracing our arms to those who need to learn about the power of STEM.
The Dominican Republic team members have said that they transcend the role of mere competitors. They are the ambassadors of change, the ambassadors of their country, and they are definitely something to look up to.
Team Ecuador.
As Ecuador makes their way into the fray, they are home to one of the largest species of tortoise in the world, but without question, they will not be moving slow in this Hydrogen Horizons game. We've seen their robot at work in the pits, and goodness gracious, you got to keep your head on a swivel.
Team Egypt.
Team Egypt, coming from Alexandria, they've got all the history of science, of medicine that goes way back over 3,000 years ago. They're going to bring that experience to the field.
Team El Salvador.
Now for El Salvador, they were very quick. In addition to raising their hats and welcoming everybody in the crowd, they're also saluting those back home who have supported them. They say that their support from back home propels us beyond what we believed we thought was possible.
Team Equatorial Guinea.
We're now welcoming the only Spanish-speaking country in Africa. I think they're going to use that to their advantage now that they have to spend time with 191 countries in this competition. They've been with us for 6 years, and we hope they can participate in First Global for way longer than that.
Team Eritrea.
Team Eritrea is comprised of 5 students and 2 mentors who are participating this weekend, wearing the white as they make their way in, blinding us as well with their robot and its proficiency. You'll see it in endgame over the next couple of days.
So
on the shoulders.
That's quite a sight. You know, Team Estonia actually is used to putting in the effort. They live quite afar from each other, and when they do get together, they do so for the week, for the weekend. So they like to
Team
put the work.
Eswatini.
Team Eswatini has team members that come from 14 different rural and urban public and private schools. They are a very energetic and self-driven team, as you can see from home. It's a powerhouse of 24 innovative high school girls and boys from grades 8 to 12.
Team Ethiopia has actually mentioned that their team members are all role models for young people in Ethiopia. And I have to agree, these team members are proof that anything is possible if you set your mind to it.
Team Fiji.
Team Fiji is all smiles, waving those flags in adoration. And right now, they're actually referred to as Team Bulabots. This nation actually introduced GPS into its aviation navigation system as one of the first countries to do so, and they're going to navigate this Hydrogen Horizons field of play very well.
We now have Team Finland entering the field. You know, Finland aims to be the world's first fossil-free welfare society, and this team is trying to do so. We now have Team France entering into the field, and you know, the stethoscope was actually invented in France in 1816.
You picking up the pulse in here? Yeah, I was going to say everyone's heartbeats are starting to race.
Team Gabon.
So even though Team Gabon has stated to receive very little support locally, they are taking all the steps that they can, and they're not giving up on their goals. Quite the contrary, they're here to prove that they can do anything they put their minds into.
Team Gambia.
Gambia is known as the smiling coast of Africa, and how could you not be smiling at an event like this? It's just absolute joy that is permeating throughout this room. It is absolutely infectious, and we're excited to welcome them here into Singapore.
Team Georgia.
Team Georgia coming from Sakartvelo, the land of the wolves. They're here to bite a chunk of that competition and of that prize.
They're definitely on the prowl, there's no question. We got to watch out for them.
Team Germany.
So last season, Team Germany actually achieved the remarkable feat of getting the prestigious Albert Einstein Award in bronze here in First Global Challenge. They're going to try to go for the gold, and I'm sure they're up for it.
Team Ghana.
As Team Ghana makes their way in with such vibrancy, they say, quote, they groove to the same beat, leaving a splashy, positive mark on the world through the magic of science and tech.
Team Great Britain.
The members of Team Great Britain have participated in different FIRST programs like FTC and FRC, and the country has been able to steadily decline the carbon dioxide and other greenhouse gases in the country for the last 20 years.
Greece has to be one of the larger teams here in competition. They actually have 58 members from their high schools all over Greece who are trying to work for the common success of this one very proud nation.
Team Grenada.
Oh my God, are you guys seeing the passion they're putting into it? Team Granada said they were here to forge a path towards a brighter future for all, and I guess there's no doubts after seeing these team members, their excitement and their determination.
Team Guam.
Referred to as Viva Guam. Researchers across the country have spent years looking into ways to split seawater. It is in abundance there, obviously. They've got an unlimited supply of it, and it's essential for seawater splitting and potentially an element of Hydrogen Horizons that you'll see in a couple of days.
Guatemala has become a technology hub for the world in the fields of software development. And this team member says, work on what you love and it will never be tiring. Well, teams, we're not tired of seeing you succeed.
Team Guinea.
Showing that we're still learning so much about the world in which we exist. There was actually a new species of tree discovered in Guinea in 2017. 24 meters tall, but these kids stand even taller today, I'm sure, beaming with pride.
Coming from Guinea-Bissau, they've stated that they can't work hungry, but they're hungry for challenges, they're hungry for accomplishments, and I'm sure they're gonna get it.
Team Guyana.
Team Guyana is introducing their first all-girls team in the competition. Let's give them a round, please. They consist mainly of the students that worked hard and didn't let go to participate physically in the challenge last year. They were actually rejected for their visas last year, so we're so excited and elated to welcome them again.
Coming from Haiti, this is the first time the team is going to participate in First Global. They've actually had the chance to participate in FLL in 2021, where they championed in 2022. Let's hope they get the same results this weekend, because that's what they're striving for.
Team Honduras.
Talk about a family affair. You're not just trying to bring a team together. The actual mentors are a legitimate husband and wife couple, and they deeply believe in the power that robotics opportunities have in fostering skills that these children will need in their future.
China.
Hong Kong, China has stated that their government has demonstrated strong policy support for hydrogen fuel. It looks like these team members are going to be perfect for the future that their country is looking for.
Team Hungary.
Team Hungary has been steadily increasing and on the rise in their low-carbon energy production. They've got a 2,600 megawatt solar capacity, already exceeding the nuclear power plant in that country.
Coming from India, India is trying to make a top green hydrogen producer in the world. They are open to export avenues, and they support research and development for renewable resources and technology.
Team Indonesia.
This is Team Indonesia R2045, and it is reflective of the centenary of Indonesian independence. So talk about pride in their young nation and certainly in their young squad as they come to compete here in Singapore.
Team Islamic Republic of Iran.
Participating in First Global Challenge for the 7th consecutive year, this team has achieved 2 silver medals, 1 outstanding mentors award, 2 safety awards, and 2 social media awards in the past in this competition.
Iraq.
The city of Basra in Iraq is one of the hottest points on earth, and this team is hot coming into competition as well. We're looking forward to seeing them turn up the heat in the field of play here in Expo Arena.
Team Ireland.
Team Ireland's journey in robotics started back in 2019 in the first LEGO League. Since then, they have gone on to compete nationally and internationally in several other robotics competitions. But this is the pinnacle of all they've achieved.
Team Israel.
Team Israel resides next to the Dead Sea, but they are anything but dead entering this competition. They are certainly alive and well, and looking forward to injecting some energy into this arena over the next couple of days.
Team Italy.
They're coming from one of the 14 European Union countries that actually met their renewable energy goals set for 2020. Team Italy states that, as a matter of fact, they're not just a group, not just a team, they are actually friends.
Team Jamaica.
Team Jamaica is comprised of 30 students from 5 different parishes and a multitude of high schools from across the country, yet the mentors for this particular squad have been on board with them since 2017. Quite a bit of experience heading into this year.
Team Japan.
They're coming from the land of the rising sun, and they're ready to rise to the occasion in the Hydrogen Horizon 2023 game. This team is excited and they're ready to give their best.
Team Jordan.
Team Jordan is made up of what's called the Robo-Razors robotics team. They were established by students from Al Asad Tarwabi schools in 2017. So again, formed roughly 6 years
Team
ago.
Kazakhstan.
Kazakhstan has emerged triumphantly from a rigorous selection competition held in September 2023, which has allowed them to be here today. The team is a blend of unique skills and shared compassion for robotics.
Team Kenya.
Over 10 years ago, there was once a 1 minute and 40 second barrier for the 800-meter race. It was called the greatest 800-meter race ever by David Rashida, but I can guarantee you the race that this squad is going to have over this couple of days in Singapore will be just as grand.
Team Kiribati.
The members of this team are 5 talented students who love coming up with new ideas and solving problems. That's what we're here for. They're coming from 2 different schools, but they don't let anything stop them from
Team
achieving
Republic
their goals.
of Korea.
The Republic of Korea is home to the oldest astronomical observatory in the world. So they've been looking up to the heavens and stars for a while, and yet looking to grab some stars and make some stars over the next few days here.
Team Kosovo.
Watch out for Team Kosovo. They have one of their team members who is a brown belt in karate and martial arts. They love instruments, they're awesome dancers, and they have all the tricks down their sleeves to get all the points in every match.
Team Kuwait.
This team from Kuwait has a wealth of experience that includes a 38th place finish at the 2019 First Global Challenge in Dubai and an even better finish in last year's competition, finishing 6th place in Geneva.
Team Kyrgyzstan.
Team Kyrgyzstan has named themselves Team Jarik, which means light in Kyrgyz language. It perfectly describes their personality, and they definitely light up the room as soon as they walk in with their excitement.
Team Lao People's Democratic Republic.
For Lao People's Democratic Republic, this is actually their 3rd time joining the First Global Challenge. You couldn't tell, it looks like their first time out there with how excited they are jogging onto the pitch.
Team Latvia.
Team Latvia has said they love to approach challenges with a multidisciplinary edge. It looks like they look at it from every side of it as well as they're going to do on the field. They're excited, they're determined, they're here to win.
Team Lebanon.
We would love it if you got to meet Team Techno Geeks. It's a proud group of 13 bright minds carrying the hopeful spirit of Lebanon. This team was born in 2021 at the Robo Geeks Academy, and they say they're not just students, they're problem solvers.
Team Lesotho.
Team Lesotho, working with the International Women in Engineering Day, they celebrated the first time in Lesotho this day. They are known as the Kingdom of the Sky, and they're ready to rise above every challenge this weekend.
Team Liberia.
Team Liberia, one of the crowd favorites here, as you can see. A lot of energy as they make their way onto the field of play. It was the first independent country in Africa and the first African country to elect a female president.
Team Libya.
Team Libya consists of members from an FTC team who was selected from 90 teams distributed across Libya. They won in their country, and they're already winners for being here.
Team Lithuania.
Most of the team members for Lithuania are women, and this is the first such team composed from that nation. We're excited to have them on board and looking forward to seeing what they can do over the next few days.
Team Luxembourg comes from a country that became the first to provide free public transportation. Even though 50% of the population doesn't have a Luxembourgish nationality, they sure make them feel at home, and they feel at home here today.
Team Madagascar.
90% of the animals and wildlife in Madagascar are endemic and cannot be found anywhere else on Earth. And I can say from the booth, you can't find an event like this anywhere else on Earth.
Team Malawi.
Malawi is known for its spectacular highlands and extensive lakes, but soon it will be known for its advances in STEM thanks to these leaders and change makers.
Team Malaysia.
Malaysia as a nation contains 4 UNESCO World Heritage Sites, yet even greater sights to behold in the form of its youngest leaders and scientists. Just look at them beaming with pride.
Team Maldives.
The Maldives, a very small island nation as well that's coming to join us in competition. The moon is on their flag, and yet that light up the night sky is what they're doing here tonight as well.
Coming from Mali, the prime meridian runs through the country, so you can stand on the edge of 2 different hemispheres in Gao, Mali. They're going to have us standing on the edge of our seats.
Team Malta.
It's believed that the cave referenced in Homer's The Odyssey is in fact Calypso Cave in Malta. And similar to this fine literary work, this team has been on quite an expedition of their own to make it here.
Team Marshall Islands.
So the team members from Marshall Islands coming from 5 different high schools have actually 0 experience in robotics, except for their lead mentor, who has been their guide throughout this whole challenge.
Team Mauritania.
Mauritania can be seen from space as a clear, quote, bullseye-like image, and they call it the Eye of Africa. This team certainly has their eye on the prize as they enter Expo Arena here in Singapore.
Team Mauritius.
Coming from a tropical island which was created by volcanic eruption some 8 million years ago, Team Mauritius is ready to erupt the competition.
Team Mexico.
Moving over to my home country, mi México lindo y querido. This team actually hosted FG's first Global Challenge in 2018, and they're one of the most successful FRC teams in all Latin America.
Team Federated States of Micronesia.
The island of Mogmog in the Federated States of Micronesia is actually home to some of the world's largest terrestrial arthropods, aka crabs. But they're additionally some of the biggest hearts of this competition coming from this nation.
Team Republic of Moldova.
Team Moldova is part of the first robotics club in Moldova, which was opened in 2014, and they've now grown to over 220 members. In 2022, they won the gold
Team
medal for
Mongolia.
innovation and engineering.
Europe's largest canyon, the Tara River Canyon, is in the country. Oh, sorry, we're talking about Mongolia at this point. Apologies. Coming to new heights, the Himalayan mountain range, also abutting its eastern border. Think about the mountains they've climbed in order to make it here.
Montenegro.
Now we talk about Montenegro. The Tara River Canyon from that nation is the largest in Europe, but no distance or chasm is ever going to create too big a hurdle for this squad to leap through.
Team Morocco.
Morocco is one of the only countries in the world that borders the Atlantic Ocean and the Mediterranean Sea. This makes them an exceptional example to draw from in terms of trading not just goods, but also ideas, something that this event is all about.
Team Mozambique.
The Mozambican robotics team was founded in 2017 under a government policy of all things, and in that same year, they were actually invited to the inaugural first Global Challenge in Washington, D.C. So talk about good timing.
So Myanmar is one of the only countries in the world that does not use the metric system of measurements. I can't really tell whether that makes it easier or harder to build a robot, but in the end, our dimensions and humanity are the same.
Team Namibia.
Team Namibia wrote to us and said that our collective objective is to maximize exposure, thereby encouraging young children to actively engage in robotics and programming. And we certainly hope that many young leaders and learners follow in your footsteps.
Team Nepal knows how to be on top. One of the team members include the president of the Robotics Association in Nepal and the head of research and development at the Robotics Association in Nepal. They know what they're doing and they know how to
Team Netherlands.
Over a quarter of the lands in this nation of the Netherlands is below sea level, and half of the land is only 1 meter above sea level. Yet, they're looking to flatten any obstacle or adversity in their path and rise to new heights
Team
here
New
in
Zealand.
Singapore.
If you haven't had a chance to go into their pits and look at their robot, you really have to. It's a piece of art. They have Mother Earth and Father Sky painted on their robot, not Nottenburg. It's actually the name of last team's mentor spelled backwards.
The capital city, Managua, lies on a geological fault line in Nicaragua that seismologists predict will cause an earthquake every 50 years or less, but they're definitely going to be shaking this place with all the
Team
energy that they're
Niger.
bringing.
Team Niger knows how to work hard. They're coming from various regions in Norway, and they are roughly 7 hours drive distance one from the other. They know that they want it, and they know that they're here to fight for their goals.
Team Nigeria.
Nigeria has over 250 distinct ethnic groups as a nation. It showcases a very rich fusion of traditions and viewpoints, something that First Global is certainly not foreign to.
Team North Macedonia.
Team North Macedonia runs a program that you have to hear its name. It's called STEM It Like a Girl. It's a program focusing on STEM education and career for young girls and women. We love what we're doing, and we love to have you
Team
here.
Norway.
Most of the team members from Norway actually knew each other before joining the team, and this has made it easier to build trust with one another and create a safe space for learning and evolving.
Team Oman.
The members of Team Oman have been working with each other for many years and are accustomed to how they do best. The country has allocated an area of about 50,000 square kilometers for green hydrogen projects, so their expertise is going to be key for their country.
Team Pakistan.
As a football fan myself, I have to acknowledge that more of half of the world's footballs are made in Pakistan, and yet this team is absolutely looking to kick climate change to the curb.
Team Palau.
Team Palau, again, one of the smaller nations in attendance, yet beaming with pride and joy. This team of 5 is certainly looking to do a lot in the couple of days that we have here.
Team Palestine.
Team Palestine, talk about culture and diversity. They actually hold 70 meetings with different first global teams this year. They know everything about perseverance.
Team Panama.
Panama makes their way on to the pitch. We're excited to have them with us. If you think about the Panama Canal that actually creates that border between the Pacific and the Atlantic, that's what this competition is all about as well, trying to cross some of those borders for ideas to make shape.
We're now seeing the team from Papua New Guinea. This country is one of the most logistically diverse in the world. It has over 850 languages with a population of just under 6 million.
Due to it being right in the middle of South America, Paraguay is also known as the heart of America, or Corazón de América. Their hearts are certainly beating fast, as are ours, as this competition begins here tonight.
Team Peru.
Team Peru holds 90 different microclimates in the country, making it one of the most biodiverse countries in the world. They know how to adapt, they know how to take every challenge up and from the head, and that's what they're going to do this weekend.
Team Philippines.
What I love about Team Philippines, especially being in education, is that the school they come from actually uses solar to power their school. Their community stands with everyone whose goal it is to save the planet from pollution.
Team Poland.
The birthplace of the father of modern astronomy, Copernicus, declared that the Earth was not the center of the universe in Poland. But let me tell you all, tonight, Singapore is the center of the universe.
Team Portugal.
Meanwhile, from Portugal, Amato Lusitano discovered the circulatory system of the human body, and this team will no doubt have our hearts and blood pumping over the course of competition here at Singapore Expo.
Team Puerto Rico.
Team Puerto Rico sure has a crowd rooting for them, coming all the way from Central America. They put all of their inspiration on their mentors who support themselves. Last year, they got 4 years bronze medal team members, and this year they have mentors who have been in FGC and FLL.
Team Qatar.
For Qatar, they have lived the mission about breaking down barriers. In fact, they actually met with teams Venezuela, Kenya, Thailand, and Turkmenistan before this competition. So talk about cross-cultural collaboration. Again, that's what the first global challenge is all about.
Team Romania.
Romania has participated in different first competitions as well as having alumni mentors. They're looking to be a tour de force for this year's competition.
Team Rwanda.
Talk about government making change. Rwanda's parliament has had the highest proportional female representation in parliament in the world since 2003. And as of 2019, 61% of the country's lower house is female, and 4 of the 7 Supreme Court justices are also women.
Team St. Kitts and Nevis.
St. Kitts and Nevis have team members that include an inventor extraordinaire, mechatronics maestros, Robo Wizard, Aesthetic Ace, Code Commander, and they've shown a lot of creativity not just on these self-identified names, but in how they created and designed their robots
Team
as
St.
well.
Lucia.
St. Lucia is home to Black Bay, where it's alleged that the famous pirate Blackbeard stashed his treasure. We hope they certainly treasure this experience as a team and unearth new potential within themselves here.
Team St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
St. Vincent and the Grenadines are sometimes called to be the gem of the Antilles, and this team representing them is no doubt showing that their own shine and luster as they enter the field of play in Singapore.
Team Sao Tome and Principe.
The students of this 2023 team from Sao Tome and Principe are a set of curious and creative youngins. It includes 5 students, 1 teacher, and the headmistress of the Escola Portuguesa de Sao Tome y Principe.
Team Senegal.
Senegal knows all about international collaboration. They were the first African nation to host an Olympic-style event in the 2022 Youth Olympic Games. They're here to collaborate with all of the other 190 countries
Serbia.
and do their best.
Serbia is home to not less than 17 of the great Roman emperors, and they're looking to similarly conquer and overcome any obstacle that comes their way. And this includes not just the design and build process, but becoming the best team possible in this process.
Team Seychelles.
Seychelles has many of the only granite islands in the world, and they are eager to be the rock for their alliance in each of their games as they unfold.
Team Sierra Leone.
Sierra Leone is one of the world's youngest democracies. In fact, it was established in 2007. It translates into Lion Mountains, and they certainly look to bring some ferocity and fire to this year's event.
Team Slovakia.
Coming with the country with the most castles in the world per capita. Their first custom robot on the national qualifier burned several times, but they sure know how to overcome challenges.
Team Slovenia.
Now, Slovenia's makerspace is based on what's called the 404 error message. I'm sure some of you from back home have seen it. I know that I have more than my fair share of times. This group definitely provides some levity about the
Team
trial and error
Solomon
process
Islands.
synonymous with science.
Coming from Solomon Islands, their flag colors indicate the relationship between water, the land, and the sun that separates them. They know everything about unity and everything about working hard for their goals.
Team Somalia.
Somalia right now is a team that is currently in transit. We're looking forward to seeing them compete here in the field of competition in Expo Arena. We have a couple of teams, again, that are still en route.
Team South Africa.
The first human heart transplant was performed in South Africa in Cape Town in 1967. We can all feel our heartbeats race up as we feel this incredible team coming down the field.
Team South Sudan.
South Sudan was instructed as a team that, quote, knowing is not enough. The knowledge acquired must be applied to solve real-world problems, and this group no doubt has learned from that example as they're here this evening.
Team Spain.
The quill pen is thought to have originated in Spain about 1400 years ago, and even though this team only had 2 weeks to build their robots, they're ready to write history.
Team Sri Lanka.
Sri Lanka is home to over 100 waterfalls. You're going to see a lot of water falling over the course of this weekend in the Hydrogen Horizons game as well. This team should definitely take a page out of their nation's playbook.
Team Sudan.
Despite the ongoing war in their country, this team has persevered and harnessed their passion for technology to create change. They've done their best, and they're here to demonstrate what they're capable of.
Team Suriname.
For Suriname, fisheries is one of the largest industries in their nation, so again, very familiar with water and its impact. It's definitely a fundamental part of this game as well, so we'll see if it plays to their advantage.
Team Sweden.
So many items and inventions that we use daily come from Sweden, such as the pacemaker, the adjustable wrench, the styrofoam, and no surprise, the dynamite. Don't you see that exploding energy that we have on the field?
Team Switzerland.
Heck of a nimble cartwheel coming on in. Now Switzerland, they hosted us last year for the first Global Challenge. So hospitable and such a wonderful event. 95% of this nation's electricity is provided by renewables as well. We could all take a lesson from them.
Team Syrian Arab Republic.
Coming from the country with the oldest library in the world, this team has more than 70 projects to enable more than 3,000 youth enter the labor market and employed 60% of them. Definitely inspiring.
Team Tajikistan.
You know, when work is fun, you can't really call it work, and Tajikistan knows this all too well. Their team enjoys the process of building so much that they actually always overstay their work hours.
Team United Republic of Tanzania.
Mount Kilimanjaro is the highest point on the African country, and it's on this continent. Its peak reaches 5,895 meters. They're accustomed to being on top, and they're going to stay right there.
Thailand is sometimes referred to as the land of smiles, and you can certainly see why they're entering this field of play. Certainly humble, hardworking, and yet eager to prove a point.
Team Togo.
Coming from the House of C, 40% of the nation is under the age of 15, with an average age of 19 years old. So programs like First Global are key for countries such as young as Togo.
Team Tonga.
Tonga is one of our second nations that is still in transit, and we're looking forward to having them compete. Tongan law prohibits business on Sundays due to the Sabbath, but this team will be all business tomorrow in their first games of this year's FGC.
Trinidad and Tobago.
Trini to the bone. With heartfelt honor, the team members have willingly taken up this mantle because they aspire to be those persons who let the youth believe in themselves.
Team Tunisia.
Now, one of the many laudable facts about this team and this country in particular is that they're a regional leader in women's rights. Around 50%, I repeat, 50% of STEM graduates are women. That number should only increase over time.
The team represented Team Turkey was established 13 years ago by boarding students on full scholarships who came from over 40 different cities. They're super excited to have participated in FRC and now to participate in First Global.
After the 2017 inaugural First Global Challenge, Team Turkmenistan went home and did the first ever robotics week in Turkmenistan. So talk about having people catch the bug. This team has only improved since, and we're looking forward to watching them compete over the next few days.
Team Uganda.
This is an all-girls team who has definitely gathered some inspiration from the fact that Brian Gita and Ugandan actually computed a device that detects malaria without drawing blood. This is the type of technology that we're striving for.
Team Ukraine.
You can hear the resounding applause for the Ukrainians as they enter the field of play. About 2/3 of their land is covered in what's referred to as black earth, which is a nutrient-rich soil. It makes them one of the most fertile countries in the world, and I say this with respect to ideas and science and STEM as well.
United Arab Emirates actually hosted the First Global Challenge in 2019. They have the tallest building in the world at 828 meters, and they know and they wish to stay on top.
Team United States of America.
Until only 6 years ago, the school that they come from in Massachusetts had no robotics programs, and now over 35% of their school is on one of their 6, I repeat, 6 robotics teams. Exceptional job by the Waring School.
Uzbekistan is the most populous country in Central Asia. This country and this team are trying to get the best that they can for the young people, just trying to be an example and inspire the leaders all around.
Team Vanuatu.
The concept of bungee jumping originated in Vanuatu. So talk about taking leaps and risks. This team knows that all too well. We're eager to welcome them into Expo Arena this evening.
Team Venezuela.
With their robot named Kashi after a native Venezuelan tribe, this year the team was selected from an FTC-like competition in Venezuela de Copacay. They've earned the right to be here and they want to do their best.
Team Vietnam.
This team was selected from 70 different schools across Vietnam after their robotics challenge in 2023, and they call themselves a, quote, electrifying force.
Team British Virgin Islands.
Coming from a country that comprises around 60 tropical islands, this is the first time that we have British Virgin Islands participated in the first global event. We're excited to have them here. They're excited to be present. Let's enjoy this show.
Team U.S. Virgin Islands.
The mentors from the U.S. Virgin Islands squad have an combined 50-plus years of educating and improving the lives of the youth in St. Croix, which is the island that they come from in particular.
Team Yemen.
Team Yemen, one of the later nations to enter this stage, but one of the first in our hearts. They're waving in anticipation and excitement. Understandably so. It's been a long process just to get here.
Team Zambia.
Team Zambia and the country Zambia are an inspiration and an example for all. 99% of the country's total energy comes from renewable energy sources, with 85% of them coming from hydropower. We should all look at them as an example.
Team Zimbabwe.
Zimbabwe wrote to us and said, quote, "This year has been truly transformative for us. We've immersed ourselves in the world of renewable energy solutions and formed a deep bond as a team at each and every practice."
Team Hope.
We now welcome a very special team this weekend. You know, more than 65 million people from around the world have been displaced from their homes over the past decade, one of the worst displacement crises the world has ever seen. They are an inspiration, they're an example,
Team
and we're all glad
Singapore.
to have you with us.
And last but certainly not least, we've got the host nation of Singapore. They've got the highest human development index in Southeast Asia. We're looking forward to seeing their human power as well as their robot over the next few days. Again, gracious hosts and excited to be here. Ladies and gentlemen, please join us in welcoming this next generation of leaders. As the country dubbed where East meets West, Singapore's multicultural heritage brings together cultures from throughout Asia and the world. Tonight, Singapore is not a city in the world, but rather the world in a city.
Additionally, Singapore has long been a country on the forefront of sustainability initiatives, making it a natural location for First Global to unite the next generation of global change makers to tackle renewable energy challenges.
Tonight, leaders in government, business, and innovation are here to speak to the possibilities these young leaders can shape for the future. And now, down to our MCs, Melissa and Blair on the stage to introduce our speakers. Take it away.
First Global Challenge!
Are you excited?
You should be. I am MC Blair.
I'm MC Melissa.
We are going to interview you all during the competition, all weekend long, in the pits, and on the fields. We want to hear your stories, but we're going to start with the beginning of your story, which is a selfie. Get the flags up.
Let's put flags up.
Flags up, waving, smiling.
Okay. 3, 2, 1.
Another one. Another one. Another one. Another one. All right.
Thank you. Awesome. Thank you, everyone. We are so excited to introduce our first speaker this evening. It's none other than our very own founder of First Global, Dean Kamen. Dean. Dean is an inventor, entrepreneur, and philanthropist. He's the founder of DECA Research and Development, First, and First Global. And as a tireless advocate for science and technology, Dean works to motivate the next generation to understand, use, and enjoy STEM. First Global represents the culmination of more than 30 years of work to bring this vision to the world stage and make science and technology as exciting and engaging as any other sport. Please join me in giving a warm welcome to Dean Kamen.
Wow. Wow. So, first, no pun intended, First Global, welcome to the Singapore 2023 Global Challenge. Congratulations for getting here. And thanks to Singapore for being such a fantastic host. And you'll hear from a bunch of people from Singapore that made this all happen. One particular person from Singapore that doesn't want to be called out. Too bad, Dr. Yo. I've known Dr. Yo for many, many years. He helped build this country to what it is today and made it the kind of place that we want to have an event. And you'll hear from him, but thank you, Dr. Yo, for making this so special. And as you heard a few minutes ago, Singapore today is not just a city in this world. The entire world is in this city, and that is fantastic. And now, according to my notes, I'm supposed to thank our presenting sponsor, but I want to say first that we have a lot of other very spectacular sponsors that have helped, some of them over the many years we've been doing this. But you will hear from them and about them, and some of them will be speaking at, among other times, our closing ceremonies. But for right now, I'm supposed to only mention one very special sponsor, our presenting sponsor. And there's something that you ought to know that's not even in my notes about them. Yes, Lamb is our presenting sponsor, and yes, we want to thank them enormously for being that. But I want to add something here. All big events that have happened over and over again end up with a presenting sponsor or a bunch of presenting sponsors. And once you've established yourself in the world, the Olympics or anything else, it's pretty easy to get sponsors. It's de-risked. People accept it. To be the presenting sponsor of something really new and different, to be the title sponsor of something at the scale we've asked Lamb to do, shows that they have, I think, great judgment, but really, they also then have, they share our vision, they have courage. And last year, from the stage in Geneva, a very senior person from Lamb. By the way, Lamb is one of the major companies in the world that makes it possible for the semiconductor industry to exist. They make the equipment that makes the stuff in all your phones and computers. And they need you. They need a global force of people that can help design and build their next generation of products for their next generation of customers. But last year, from the stage in Geneva, we were able to announce, actually a very senior person from their company was able to announce that they were giving us a 3-year, $10 million grant to make this all happen. How do you beat that? Well, this year, we have the chairman and CEO of that company, Tim Archer, here, and he'll be talking to you very soon. So make sure you thank him and you thank Lamb, because without them, it would be very hard to be here. Okay. Over the next few days, while the competition goes on, and as I always say, as the robots battle with each other, make sure that none of you battle with each other. Remember, there's a competition among those robots, but there's a cooperation that we're trying to build among the next generation of the world's technical and global leaders. It's critically important that while you're all here from 191 different countries, that you're communicating and you're cooperating and you're learning how to work with each other and trust each other, so that the world doesn't have what seems to be a never-ending set of self-inflicted wounds and conflicts. We set up First Global so that the whole world can start moving together to deal with all the problems that they're all going to face together, like energy. I spent a lot of time this morning already and this afternoon going through the pits, and you can't help but feel the energy of the people that get it. I wish some of the very senior people in the very senior positions around the world could all be here in this room to see young people that are enthusiastic and optimistic and know how to cooperate. The world would be spectacular if it all operated the way First Global does. Okay. And I hope no matter how much you get intensely into supporting your robot, besides our guests, the VIPs, besides everybody else that gets to walk through the pits and meet everybody, I hope all the students on all the teams find some way to make sure that you do the same thing. In fact, some of you, I think almost all of you, by looking at those 2 giant pillars out there, have signed the 2 things that we asked you to do. And for those of you that aren't familiar with First Global, every year I try to throw another monkey wrench into the works to raise the bar about why we're really here. And last year, I suggested that we add 2 new documents that everybody has to understand and sign on to and commit to. And they're kind of in the spirit of the evolution. Countries are formed, they have constitutions, they have laws, but they amend them, and they hopefully improve them over time. In the United States, we have 2 pretty famous documents. One was the Declaration of Independence. It's a good thing. Every country deserves its independence. And we had a Bill of Rights, another good thing. People should have their rights. But I said, we need a world that's gotten a little more sophisticated to add a little more to that. And so I said, why don't we have every team for the next generation of world leaders sign on to 2 new documents that are in addition to your independence and your rights. And those pillars there have 2 documents that you've all, I hope, seen over the last year. And it's a declaration of interdependence, because the world is an interdependent place. Pollution doesn't stop at the arbitrary line on a map. Pandemics and diseases don't stop because you changed the border or the language, the culture. We have a global human community, whether you like it or not. And we ought to recognize that while we ought to protect our independence, we ought to respect and understand our need for interdependence, by which we'll all do better by supporting each other. That document is out there, and it looked to me like it's been signed by everybody. But it got so messy, I've asked them to print another one, and tomorrow I'm going to ask everybody to put a neat signature next to the name of your country so we can be sure we've got them all. And on the other pillar, next to the Declaration of Interdependence, again, to balance the Bill of Rights that everybody ought to have, we have a Bill of Responsibilities, because you earn your rights by being responsible to yourselves and to each other. You have to be responsible for your actions. You have to be responsible for truthfulness, for hard work, for honesty. So we've asked all of you to remember that while you all should work hard to maintain your rights, you need to be committed to working hard to live up to your responsibilities to each other. I'm glad that it looks like everybody's agreed to that. And before closing ceremonies, I'd like to have those two big plaques up here, the new neat versions of them, so that we can close out this year officially saying that every one of 191 countries has some very sophisticated, committed teams of kids and parents and mentors and teachers and sponsors that have signed on to their interdependence and their responsibilities to each other. In that regard, I have a lot more to say, but we got to get on with this. So in that regard, I'm going to ask them to play a video now that shows just how committed to those responsibilities you are. And then you're going to hear from a number of the people I just talked about. And then I hope over the next couple of days, I will get to interact with every one of you. And I hope I'll have a lot more at our closing ceremonies to say. I think if you've seen today's news, the world is still troubling itself. I'm not naive. You're not naive. We know the world is, history has shown, there's loads of issues. Sometimes they get more intense than others. We're at a time like that now. But that's precisely why it's critical that First Global exists. We're here as the antidote to that. And no matter what you see going on out there, I hope all of you will double down and work hard to get to know each other and trust each other so that you don't continue the kind of behavior that in the end isn't good for anybody. And I hope by the time you leave here, you're energized to help change the world in lots of ways, not just better energy systems, but better societies that will make sure that when you're running the world, you'll do a better job maybe than we've been doing. Good luck, everybody, and watch this video.
But united in purpose.
Because we understand
the world's problems cannot be solved alone.
That all people have special gifts
that make them innovators, colaboradores, and change makers.
Every person has a role to play.
It all starts with you and me.
The time has come
to declare our interdependence.
We are committed to a greater purpose.
And when we work together, there is nothing we cannot accomplish.
The greatest challenges we face
do not stop at arbitrary borders.
Global challenges require global solutions.
In order to build a more peaceful world,
we must embrace our interdependence.
Declare the following principles to be true.
Throughout history,
innovators have risen from adversity.
When we see paths to see implementations,
we realize the strength of unfamiliar ideas.
Our role is both
on the shoulders of these visionaries.
Through work, we must continue.
Through science and technology,
we can find unity.
Our unity is a powerful tool
to combat poverty,
disease, hunger,
and inequality
without conflict or division.
And now, more than ever before,
we must promote opportunity for all.
Y elevar cada mente.
From a citizen into a leader.
Our shared goal
is a sustainable, peaceful world.
Build on mutual understanding.
To embody these principles.
And as good as possible.
To ourselves,
our planet,
and to one another.
So we commit
to the following responsibilities.
1. We foster peace
by working in collaboration.
2.
We display unqualified kindness to one another
and always work hard.
3.
نحمد مساهمات الآخرين
and learn from each other.
4.
We celebrate each person's success.
Because the world does not need losers.
To have winners.
5.
We promote learning and creativity
in our communities,
our nations,
in our world.
6. We ensure our progress
does not inhibit the progress of others. 7.
We love what we do,
and we share that love
with the whole world.
We are first goal.
Our principles guide us.
Our responsibilities bind us.
And together,
we can build a better world.
Well, thank you, Dean, for that warm welcome, for your vision, your passion, and all your efforts to make the world a better place for all of us. And thanks to you students who lent your voices to those inspiring words in the video. We would like to ask all of you to join us in committing to the first Global Declaration of Interdependence and Bill of Responsibilities. You can find the full text of these documents in your program book and on the First Global website. It is now my privilege to introduce our next speaker. Dean mentioned him. Dean doesn't exaggerate. When Dean says this man has changed a country, he has changed this country. Dr. Philip Yeo is the chairman of the board of directors for Economic Development, Innovation Singapore, Acuron Technologies, Advanced MedTech Holdings, as well as serves on the board of directors for several other companies. Dr. Yeo is recognized for his contributions to Singapore's economic development and his pioneering role in the promotion and development of this country's information technology, semiconductor, chemical industries, and biomedical sciences. We're grateful to have Dr. Yeo on our host committee for this year, and he was smiling ear to ear during the parade. He is a fan of yours. Make him feel welcome. Please welcome Dr. Yeo to the stage.
First and foremost, I will welcome all of the children of the world here. Welcome to Singapore. And all the beautiful costumes, all the beautiful flags, welcome to Singapore. Now, our hope is for you to enjoy Singapore. We are a multicultural country, and Singapore pursues innovation, diverse culture, and natural beauty. So once again, welcome. It's a joy to see all of you to come to compete in robotics, a truly unique sport, and one fit for our times. Now, our society is rapidly evolving, and rapid advancements in science and technology constitutes the 21st century. However, with great advancement, there are great challenges. It's up to each and every one of you to seize the opportunity to become not only STEM professionals, but also STEM leaders, and to tackle the challenges ahead for one and all. While I'm sure you will have the opportunity during these 3 days here to create lifelong memories over the next competition, during the competition, I encourage you to build friendships and partnerships. The key is a network that you will build up with yourself, among your friends, your competitors here, that you will become the next global change makers. During my time as the chairman of the Agency for Science and Technology, I traveled to many countries in search of bright people to help our small country. And these bright people, whom I are senior scientists, I call them whales. So my job is to kidnap whales, bring them to Singapore to help to develop my own people, my young people. I call them guppies. So in a sense where your competition here, you are the guppies, but you will be the future whales for your country, for science and technology. So hopefully you have opportunity to lead your country in the future. And I welcome all of you to enjoy your competition here and enjoy your stay here. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Yo, for your captivating perspective. As innovation drives development in countries around the world, Singapore has long been at the forefront when it comes to sustainability initiatives. Our next speaker is Singapore's Minister for Sustainability and the Environment, Ms. Grace Fu. She previously served as the Minister for Culture, Community, and Youth and held various positions at the Prime Minister's Office, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and the Ministry of National Development. Ms. Fu began her career with the Overseas Union Bank and was the Chief Executive Officer of PSA Southeast Asia and Japan before joining politics. Please welcome me and join me in welcoming Minister Grace Fu to the stage.
This wasn't what I was expecting. It's so much more. When I was given the brief to say that this is the Olympics for robotics, my gosh, you guys are fantastic. I have been a minister for youth in the past, but this is really nothing that I've seen. It's so much energy, there's so much creativity. I know that you're all STEM experts, but your, coming in, your routine and all that has a lot of culture, and you are obviously very proud of your country. So Singapore is so happy, so privileged to have all of you here. A warm, warm welcome to Singapore. While you're here, you should really understand Singapore better. We are a very small country, but with lots of people. We are one of the most dense countries in the world. We're small, and therefore we are very alternative energy disadvantaged. If you talk about putting solar panels, we have very little land for that. So we're putting it on our rooftop, we're putting solar panels on our lakes, but that's about it. 10% maybe of our energy requirements, and we don't have high mountains or wide rivers. We don't have hydropower. We don't have geothermal power. So what do? How can we decarbonize? How can we not emit carbon emission? So we have to look for alternatives. We're thinking of importing renewable energy from neighboring countries, but how do you solve this issue about intermittency, about energy security? Hydrogen. Hydrogen is the answer to many of our challenges. Particularly low carbon hydrogen is therefore especially attractive as a sustainable alternative to fossil fuels. It can enhance our energy security and also help to manage intermittency problems. We're not alone in recognizing hydrogen, and around 40 countries around the world have announced their hydrogen strategy and committed significant resources to realizing these strategies. In addition, there are growing industry activities along the hydrogen value chain. There are more than 100 pilot and demonstration projects now involving the use of hydrogen and its carrier forms in shipping. Hydrogen can potentially supply up to 50% of our projected electricity demand by 2050 and play an important role in our decarbonization efforts. And to unlock the potential of hydrogen, we have organized in 5 key thrusts. First, we'll explore the use of advanced hydrogen technologies and carrier pathways and focus on those that are closer to commercial viability. For example, ammonia, which is a hydrogen carrier and has the potential to be a fuel for power generation and bunkering. Second, we are increasing our research and development efforts to find new solutions, and we will focus efforts on areas such as importing, handling, and utilizing hydrogen safely, economically, and at scale, because we're going to be transporting a lot of that around the world. And third, we will work with industry and international partners to facilitate global hydrogen trade and supply chains, to move it from one country to another, and to build a trading and financing ecosystem. Fourth, we will undertake long-term land and infrastructure planning to find ways to accommodate the required hydrogen infrastructure on our small island. And lastly, and importantly, we want to ready our industry and our workforce as hydrogen economy develops, because climate action, energy transition is about inclusive change. It's about bringing jobs to people. It's about making sure that all segments of the population, all our workers, all communities are brought along this change. And we will work with industry, unions, and the education sector to support workforce development and to equip Singaporeans with the skills and knowledge needed to thrive in the hydrogen economy. Even with the increased global investments in new technologies and supply chains, the hydrogen market is still at a nascent stage. We are not ready. The widespread adoption of hydrogen will eventually depend on our youth. It will depend on you, all of you here, the next generation of global leaders, to work together to improve the infrastructure deployment. And this first global challenge is this wonderful platform for all of you to harness technology to foster a deeper understanding of complex systems, automation, and problem solving. Robotics support the hydrogen transition by improving efficiency, safety, and cost effectiveness. Bringing together youth from over 190 countries to work on the world's pressing challenges collaboratively, we hope to spark innovative solutions. And encourage all of you and work with your mentors, your experts to find a solution so that all of you can come up with the problems, with the solutions to the problems of the world. You know, when we are here, we're hoping that you will be really the next leaders to bring our world towards a better future. We talked about net zero commitments around the world. Net zero by 2050 will see us to limiting global warming to 1.5 degrees centigrade. To reach net zero at 2050, we need many, many new technologies. And 2050 seems like a long time away. But to all of you here, how old will you be when it's 2050? You are in your 40s. You are in the 40s. You'll be in the prime of your lives. Some of you here will be leaders of your country. Some of you here will be business leaders of industries. Some of you here will be top scientists in your country. Some of you here will be great, inspiring teachers, educationists, bringing back this wonderful experience, inspiring many more students in your countries. Some of you here will change your country into a better world, but we can't do that alone. No country in this world can do it alone. Just take hydrogen. You need to have different countries working together for solutions, for transportation, for parts, for technology, for equipment, for markets. So this is the start. Let this be a start of many things. It's a great opportunity given to you. And I think, as Dean has said, opportunity comes with responsibility. Your responsibility is to go back and inspire many more around you, and to bring whatever that you have learned to good use with hard work. And I will add that it is your responsibility to keep up the ties, to collaborate with one another. Because in the world of science and technology, don't let problems, don't let issues, don't let the adults in politics separate you. Because you are in one world. The world is here, and the world here will find the solutions for the world outside. So congratulations being here, and I look forward to really inspiring examples coming from here. Thank you very much, and welcome to Singapore.
Thank you, Minister Fu, for your energy and your encouragement. Minister Fu is so impressed by you, she wants to do a selfie. So, get the flags up, get the smiles up. She's going to use you as the backdrop. All right? Make some noise. There it is. Minister Fu! All right, our next speaker is Mr. Kian Tekpei. As the CEO of Singapore's National Research Foundation, he is responsible for reviewing, developing, and implementing national rapid improvement strategies and governance frameworks to grow and sustain a vibrant ecosystem in Singapore. Now, prior to this, he held roles of increasing responsibilities at the Economic Development Board, and with over 20 years' experience in promoting foreign direct investment and building industries in the manufacturing and internationally tradable services sectors. Please join me in welcoming to the stage Kian Tekpei.
Hello, and again a very warm welcome to Singapore. The atmosphere this evening is electrifying, and if there was to be an Olympics for innovation for a better world, I think this first global challenge would be it. So thank you to Dean for the inspirational vision for making this happen. It is my immense pleasure to be with all of you today, surrounded by so many young people, the teachers, parents from more than 190 countries. The first global challenge represents a remarkable convergence of culture, talent, and aspirations. So tonight, we are here to celebrate the power of science and technology in unifying a world where politics and economic competition can generate many rifts. Singapore believes that science and technology has to be global and has to play a key role in order to tackle the most pressing challenges of our time. We have pledged $25 billion to fund our research, innovation, and enterprise effort over 5 years from 2021 to 25. This is a declaration of our commitment to science and technology. However, the key to success is people. So the presence of all of you here, the young people here, is a testament to the ingenuity and tenacity that it takes to become a scientist and innovator. Teachers, and let's not forget that teachers and coaches played an important role in nurturing all of your curiosity and equipping you. Parents have supported your passion and have encouraged you. So our hope and our future lie with all of you. The heart of this year's theme is hydrogen fuel. It has the power to transform our industries and our homes, to reduce our carbon footprint, and to mitigate the impact of climate change. The pursuit of this goal, this future, transcends national borders. It is an endeavor that will require cooperation, creativity, and dedication from all of you, from all our countries. I think the first global challenge is a microcosm and the start of all of these. We have here in the room young minds from diverse backgrounds and cultures working side by side, focusing on a common objective instead of focusing on our differences. So as you embark on these Hydrogen Horizons Games, I just want to encourage you to remember tonight, to remember the days that will follow, how you have harnessed your passion and your creativity for the good of others, the sense of satisfaction that you will get when you achieve something that was possible because you were part of a larger team together. But do not be discouraged when you hit failure. So turn all these failures into lessons and experiences. Please remember to cheer each other on, and like many worthwhile endeavors, the journey to harnessing power of hydrogen and other scientific breakthroughs will not be easy. So over the coming 3 days, we'll be celebrating the achievement of today's youth, and we are also nurturing the leaders and innovators of tomorrow. There will be future groundbreaking researchers amongst you, passionate environmentalists, ingenious inventors. Take this opportunity to connect with others from all around the world, start friendship that we think will blossom into a lifelong partnership. Enjoy the pursuit of knowledge and the thrills of discovery together. So may this first global challenge always be a beacon of inspiration, a celebration of curiosity, and a testament to how we can achieve so much more when we come together. Congratulations, and let the game begin.
Thank you, Mr. Bay, for those visionary remarks. Continued investments in technology are key to driving breakthroughs, something our next guest knows something about. Our final speaker for this evening is Mr. Tim Archer, the President and CEO of Lam Research, a global supplier of innovative wafer fabrication equipment and services to the semiconductor industry. Mr. Archer also serves on the International Board of Directors for SEMI, the global industry association representing the electronics, manufacturing, and design supply chain. Last year, Lam pledged a $10 million donation over 3 years to First Global in support of our mission to expand access to STEM education and cultivate future global technology leaders. We are proud to have Lam Research as our title sponsor. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Tim Archer to the stage.
Wow, it's an amazing view from up here. You know, I've had in my life two opportunities to attend the opening ceremonies of the actual Olympics. And I would say the Parade of Nations today, with 191 different countries represented, beat both of those experiences. So now at Lam, we have actually a statement. We like, when we're trying to really convince ourselves of something, we tell ourselves and we challenge others, we say, let's prove it. And so I hope that all of you are having a good time in your first day or two here in Singapore. And so what I'd like to do is to hear from you, make some noise. If you're having fun in Singapore, let's prove it. It's pretty good, pretty good. So on behalf of everyone at Lam Research, we are thrilled to be here with so many young, brilliant minds who are here to compete, and by your own choice, through problem solving and creativity and teamwork. Now, until you arrived here, I'm sure not many of you had heard of Lam Research. But as you heard from Dean earlier, we are a maker of the equipment that is used to manufacture nearly every advanced semiconductor chip on the planet. These are the chips that are powering artificial intelligence, autonomous cars, virtual reality, not to mention your smartphones, the computers, and in fact the chips that are in all of the robots that you'll be competing with here this week. This is something that shows that in many cases technology, even when you don't know about that technology, like those small chips inside of everything, technology can be the solution to many of the world's biggest problems, including sustainability. And we look to you as the next generation of leaders to push the boundaries of science and technology to create those next solutions that will help shape our future. So all of us from Lam Research will be here this week cheering you on to success and victory. And with that, I now declare the 2023 First Global Challenge open.
Thank you, Mr. Tim Archer, for that motivational message, and to Lam Research, honestly, thank you for your generous support in helping to make all of this possible.
When we're talking about a company that says, let's prove it, they're actually living that mission. It's an embodiment of it, putting $10 million on the line, as Dean alluded to earlier on. That's a company and a very motivated group that is truly walking the walk, in my opinion, in terms of trying to set about that change.
They're an example to all of us, and we're so thankful because we couldn't be here without you.
And as a multicultural melting pot at the heart of Southeast Asia, Singapore boasts a vibrant culture where East meets West. And now it's our pleasure to present to you a show that brings together these various cultural components into one electric piece. Let's take a look.
பார்த்ததுமே மனசு பட்டு துடிக்குது ஹே ஆத்தா ஆத்தோரமா பாரியா பார்த்தா பார்க்காமலே போறியா அடியே ஆத்தா ஆத்தோரமா பாரியா பார்த்தா பார்க்காமலே போறியா.
Absolutely insane. If that doesn't get your blood pumping, Marlene, I don't know what eventually will, but just you stick around for these next few days of competition. It's only going to get more electric from here.
You know, this opening ceremony and that cultural show has only been a display of art and talent, of cultural diversity, but unity at the same time. And that's the point of First Global. We're just getting started, and that's the point of it. I love that we're already getting the message and the feeling.
Well, and I think one of the quotes, there were so many inspirational ones that you heard from all of our speakers in particular, but Dean, the first one up, when he was talking about being in the pits, he said the energy, it's incredible to really feel it in the room when you're around people who get it. And we're surrounded by people who get it. And we're looking forward to seeing them get after it over the next couple of days here again in Singapore Expo.
I also love that he mentioned that companies that join something that is new and unexpected have a vision. But it's not only the companies, it's also the team members that are here joining a project that's relatively new, but that has already left a legacy. You can see the vision, the ambition that they have from our sponsors, from the team members, from the volunteers, just in general. And I love the phrase that he mentioned where he said, the world does not need losers to have winners. I feel like that's the entire sentiment of the competition that isn't really a competition.
It's talking about focusing on a global community, one that we are all a part of, regardless of our respective differences. And if you think about those two documents that he'd alluded to, right, the Declaration of Interdependence and then the Bill of Responsibilities, we highly encourage you to check those out on the FIRST website, especially the words that are within it. The ones that stick out to me in particular is treating everyone with, quote, unqualified kindness and respect. I really do think that that theme is something that you very much see in the 191 teams that are here, but also in the welcoming nature of Singapore as a host nation. They've done an exceptional job thus far with us.
They've made us feel like home, and as the Minister of Sustainability and Environment, Ms. Grace Fu, mentioned, you are in one world, and the world here will find the solutions for the world outside. When we mean the world here, we mean the world and the students that are here on First Global today. They are the key to the future.
Well, and I loved Ms. Fu's reaction as well. She comes up to the stage. This is, by the way, Singapore's Minister for Sustainability and the Environment. She came up to the podium and effectively said, listen, I expected this to look a certain way, and I was completely surprised in all of the most positive ways. And again, for those of you who are tuning in at home, whether it's your first time joining us or whether you've been here since 2017, trust me, there are a lot more surprises for all of us that are in store.
Yes, I love a phrase, alluding to what you're saying, that Mr. Kiantek Bes said, if there was ever to be an Olympics of innovation and inspiration, this would be it. This 191 teams would be it. And it is. Today, the world is Singapore.
Well, if you've got big problems, right, the most simple solutions at times are ways to actually get past those problems. And one of those solutions is convening people together. That's what the power of this event, frankly, does. And Dean alluded to this point as well, trying to, quote, break the cycle of self-imposed wounds and conflict. I think that's something in human nature that we see all too much of. But the fact that this competition brings so many people together, again, convening that world, recognizing those problems that we all share and we all play a part of in solving, it's incredible to watch and witness, truly, from this booth up here.
Yes, and as Dr. Filipio mentioned, we can't wait to see them become future leaders because the world is in their hands. What was it that we mentioned, 2050, where these students are going to be about 40 years old and they're going to be leaders of the world, leaders of politicians, they're going to be professors, they're going to be scientists, they're going to be ruling our future. So it really is in their hands.
Well, and as opposed to just focusing on maybe what we don't have, right, or deficiencies, whether it be in a robot part or whether it be as a nation and not having certain resources, where I think we need to deflect and focus our attention is really on where the opportunities lie. Try to find those opportunities in the obstacles and in that adversity, and you'll ultimately emerge not only as a stronger individual, but someone who's more confident as well.
Yes, as we mentioned during the introductions of the teams, each country has strengths and has weaknesses, and that's what makes the world one, that we can all just combine and work together to solve the problems that we have in general, but that only comes with unity.
Well, and I think to the words of Tim Archer so eloquently put, and I love that Lamb Research actually does this effectively as their kind of company credo, the quote, let's prove it, right? I think that we're trying to put that to substance right here and on this grand stage over the next few days here in Singapore Expo. It's been happening happening in First Global since 2017, and again, has only grown since.
It's only grown since, and we can already see the legacy. You know, we mentioned so many teams that are now being mentored by former students. It's only been, what, 5, 6 years since we started, and they've already creating an impact in younger generations. So I can only imagine the effect that this is going to have 10, 20, 30 years from now.
It compounds on itself. And again, we've got a lot of individuals that truly are paying it forward and trying to put themselves on the line for the betterment of all. And I think Mr. Bay, again, the CEO of Singapore's National Research Foundation, one of the later speakers this evening, had effectively put a highlight on a lot of teachers and coaches. I'm deeply appreciative of that as a teacher myself, but focusing on that mentorship, on that teaching, on learning from our examples, not just what we've succeeded at, but frankly, where we've failed and where we've fallen short. I try to live by that mantra. It's a hard thing to do, but it's great to hear those words of wisdom coming from our global leaders.
You know, our leaders are our mentors in some way. We are responsible of who we select, who we follow, who we let inspire us. So for everyone back home, just find inspiration from the team members. Do your research, stick with us through the weekend, and you know, do your best to understand what's going on here today.
Yeah, trust me, we're just getting started in Singapore. Join us tomorrow afternoon at 2 p.m. Singapore time as we dive into the first rounds of competition matches.
See you
See you tomorrow.
Everywhere you look, there's proof that semiconductors. They're enabling new technologies that help save lives, enhance access to education, and shape the future of business and computing. But as semiconductors become increasingly critical to our world, demands continue to grow for them to become smaller, more efficient, and more sophisticated. At Lam Research, we're innovating to meet this demand every day. We create machines that enable modern chip production and push the boundaries of what's possible. We partner with customers to boldly take on the world's biggest challenges while supporting communities and driving greater sustainability. From enabling atomic-level precision to breaking down barriers to collaboration, we're transforming our industry and creating the breakthroughs that make so many other innovations possible. Because at Lam Research, we know semiconductor innovation will change the world in ways we can only imagine. Now, let's prove it.